Hi. Thank you very much.
Do you find yourself a lot of time with people that are coming to you with their symptoms and everything?
It hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened. It used to happen when I was a kid because my dad was a doctor. And I used to answer the phone for him, and very often the patients would think that I was him. Our voices were very alike, and I would sometimes give some medical advice. This is when I was about 12, 13. But it hasn't happened since then. The part of the problem is I have no memory. I can remember complex medical problems for about 6 hours, and then it's gone. I'm like a goldfish, if that's the fish I'm trying to think of. I can't even remember.
After a day at work, it is easy or hard to be switching from your real accent to the American doctor?
I find it, I mean, it's pretty easy actually. As soon as I pull out of the gate, the barrier goes up, and that's like the accent lifting, you know. And as soon as I've left the lot, I become English again. I find it's just the only way I can do it. Otherwise, I would be going crazy trying to remember, you know, what times I'm supposed to be doing it and what times I'm not. Good. Good. That went well. Hi.
And that you would become such a focus of attention as you have on doing this kind of work?
No, I didn't. I mean, I of course dreamt of becoming the focus of attention, but I thought I might have to become an arsonist or something to do that, to achieve it. Not through... No, I was always confident the show would be good. I loved the script, I loved the character, and I did feel that it was a character that people might respond to. I certainly did. But there's a big difference between good and successful. Plenty of good things don't make it. And just statistically, it's incredibly unlikely. It's you're backing the worst horse in the race, and it comes through. It's just an amazing. In fact, it's a trifecta. You see, you have to combine so many things. You have to win so many races along the way to get into this position. I feel truly, truly blessed. It's an amazing thing.
And then to get a globe on top of it.
It's just amazing. It's kind of I actually starting to feel positively guilty. And I don't know what I should do with it, but I've got to find some charitable purpose for it. Sorry? Well, actually, no. The red carpet was fine tonight because I sort of surfed a wave of Ben and Jennifer, and I was like an old plastic bag, just sort of bobbling along in their wake. And so actually, it was pretty relaxed. In fact, I just sort of let them kind of tow me along, because people were going crazy trying to get pictures of the two of them together, which they seem to be reluctant to give. What's that about?
We got...
in the show that two of your supporting actors got engaged recently.
Yeah.
And also, I would like to know if you ever actually took a few Vicodins at the same time to just know how it feels. I've taken one, only one. A more daring actor might have taken the whole bottle. I just took one. And it is interesting stuff. And I think the effect that it has on the human body when you're not in pain is not the same as it has when you are in pain. So it works pretty well as a recreational drug. I'm not trying to push it or anything. But it was an amazing experience. And yes, I had. So just one time though.
We got used to seeing you on the big screen when you went to House. So when you get a break from your show, will you relax, or will you look for a big screen project so you can be up there next year accepting your Best Actor award for...
With the movie people. Well, the thing about House is we're now doing 24 shows a year, and that takes best part of 10 months. So there's actually very, very little time in between. And so little time that relaxing becomes actually quite an attractive idea. You know, just sort of thinking and reading. I haven't read a novel for about 6 months. I'm not even sure that I can read anymore. It's really worrying what the things you have to put to one side. So I'm hoping I'll be able to read and think and walk and, you know, get to know my children again, who were no longer children. They were when I left, they're not now.
Congratulations.
The Red Ring is the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. And I got sent it, and I read their blurb, and I thought that was rather splendid. And I happened to know some, you know, and I just thought that was a thing I would be happy to identify myself with.
Is it as exciting the second time as it is the first? Is there a way to prepare now that you know the drill?
There is no way to prepare. Because someone asked me, actually assumed that it would all be kind of run-of-the-mill now, but it's sort of like your second parachute jump. You can't be blasé about a second parachute jump and start lighting a cigarette on the way down. It's not. It's still a parachute jump. It's still an exciting and sort of nerve-wracking thing, but also a thrilling thing. It's sort of undiminished. It was really a very exciting thing. It still is.
Now, you joke that you're going to have to get reacquainted with your children. How has the success of this show affected your family life, both with them and with your wife?
Well, fortunately, my children are much more grown up than I am. They're much more mature, and they seem to have taken the separation incredibly well. I mean, they seem very poised. We had a wonderful Christmas. We actually had quite a long break over Christmas. We had 3 weeks or so, and we had a wonderful holiday together, and they seem on fantastic form. So unless they're pretending, and they're hiding it from me, they seem to be taking to it very well. I think of course, we miss each other, but we seem to be sort of surviving. But it's hard all round. Yeah, I mean, it's hard on my wife, and it's hard all round. But sometimes we talk about it. It's like I've joined the Navy. I've joined the Merchant Navy or something. I just sort of go to sea. It's what it feels like. I've just gone to sea for. I happen to know about the crew on nuclear submarines don't even get to speak to their families for sometimes 9 or 10 months at a time. And here's an amazing thing, and it's quite an interesting story. And this comes from a captain of a nuclear submarine who told me this, that the crew on the submarine have to sign a piece of paper indicating whether or not they want to be informed in the event that their wife or their child is injured or dies in an accident. And of course, what the crew realizes is that if that happens, they're not going to be released. They can't get off the boat. So most of them tick the box that says, I don't want to know. I may as well behave as if it only happened yesterday. It's like a weird suspension of time to be away that long. Now, when you hear something like that, people giving up that those sort of home comforts and relationships to their own family, what I'm going through at the moment seems incredibly mild compared to that. So I'm blessed that at least we see each other as often as we can. We talk on the phone, and we have got these fantastic video phones that everybody's got now, and we're very lucky in that way. Well, everyone's, of course, completely delighted. I've got to say, it wasn't a great surprise. We sort of, they were an item for quite some time, and we sort of all wondered whether it was in the wind, So when it happened, nobody was kind of bowled over by it. It's a wonderful thing, and everybody's incredibly happy for them. They seem very happy with each other, of course, but I've got to say, we pretended to be surprised, but actually we weren't.
Now that you have a matched set of trophies, how do you present them at home? What do you do with them?
I have not solved that problem yet. That's an interesting one. I'm just going to have to give that some thought. That's a very interesting problem. But thank you.
Before you leave,
yeah.
do you mind just posing with your
Sure.
for the
Sure.
cameras?
Thank you. Hollow it out. Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you.